Alright, we've been talking about a lot of little details. We talked a little bit about dyeing, multi-scam, things like that, right? Talked about a little bit perimeter alarms and that sort of thing. Well, coming back in this video, I forgot to talk about, I got these other pouches that are multi-scam that I dyed them just like this blowout pouch, right? I dyed 4 of them at another time, and then I dyed this GP pouch at the same time that I dyed this particular multi-scam blowout pouch. So this one and this one I dyed at the same time. They come out beautiful. So this on the top a little bit darker, as you can see. That's when I was still experimenting with dyeing. These just a little bit darker, not too much. They're not too dark. Okay, you can get these things too dark. These are just nice jungle looking green, and then of course on your you got your medium Alice. That's this one's old as dirt, so it's olive drab. Anyway, so this blends in well. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put this on, right? And we'll just give you a little turn around here, a little walk around. What's going on? All right. Just tuck in the little danglies. All right. So as you can see, there's the blowout pouch. Your medical pouch, right? High fat. Now, you got to remember, this one is to be used on you, right? You don't dig into this one. You're going to have medical crap somewhere else, probably in your patrol pack, that you could use for other little things like scrapes and cuts and thorns and other stuff like that. Alright, anyway, let you see how this all blends together. So, just take a look at all that, and I'm going to turn around here and have a look. Alright, so you got the butt pack down there is M81 Woodland. In France they call that CCE, which is a European version of basically a Woodland, right? Alright, so that came out pretty darn good. I'm happy with that. If you see a couple videos back, I talked about how to dye it, or how I dyed it. You could dye it however you want, I don't care. But that's the way I went with it. And it came out really good. Now what I'm going to do is it's upcoming videos. I'm gonna get the camera outside, and I'm gonna do some videos with me and the different kit, and you can see how it all works. Okay, out in the brush and so on in the bushes. So we will do that. Anything else I wanted to cover today? I only got a little bit of time here and there, to do these videos, and I'm going to keep doing them. gonna keep doing them. When we finally get done with all the Minuteman stuff, then I will go back to the Get Home Alive bag. Yeah, so we will talk about putting stuff into your pack, right, and into your pouches and all that stuff. People have been doing this, you know, what do I have in my pouch videos forever. Of course, some of them are going to be a little the same, some of them are going to be a little bit different. And one thing that you got to remember is to keep your stuff dry. Okay, it ain't no good to you soaking wet, and it gets weighty as well when your stuff is wet, because it retains that water, and that just makes it heavier. Okay, makes it heavier. So you want to try to keep all your stuff as dry as you can, even if you're not jumping in the water like a river or a lake or an ocean or whatever. You still want to keep things dry. The rain will do you in just as well. You know, it'll take longer, but if stuff gets soaking wet from a day or two of downpour, it's going to be wet and it's going to get heavy. So those things you got to think about. You got to keep your stuff dry. Anyway, inside the GP pouch, for instance, I've got this particular little ditty bag, right, which is pretty water resistant. That will keep my stuff from soaking up water, right? I got a compass in here. Compass obviously is not affected by rain, right? Flashlight there, not really affected by rain. All this pretty much protected. But then you got other stuff that could soak up water, right? So you got to think about that. On your rucksack, if you have a rucksack that has a waist belt, one of those big waist belts, that could soak up water. So you got to be aware of that. You know, have stuff that just doesn't soak up water easy, and that's just the train of thought that you want to go with. In your sack, right, your rucksack, you don't have a liner bag. You don't have to go out and buy the most expensive liner bag. What you could do is you can get a contractor bag, a heavy one, heavy duty contractor bag. Put that in your rucksack. And then I'm going to show you how to tie one of those up, right? Use that. And then inside of that bag, then you want to have real dry bags. And we'll talk about that. So basically you want a bag of bags, and you want to have a bag for this and a bag for that. Okay? So if your main dry bag, which would be a contractor bag, or it might be a real, you know, liner bag, if that gets compromised, then your inner stuff is not compromised, right? You get a bag of bags. And that goes for the summer and the winter time, because in the summer you got rain and you got streams and so on. Maybe you slip and fall in the water. You don't want all your crap wet, you know, so you want it dry. Even in some of your pouches, right? So in the butt pack, I've got a liner bag. And then inside of that, again, bags inside of a bag, right? Same situation. Butt pack is the same situation as your rucksack or your patrol pack, okay? Now, some guys will have belt kits to where they'll have large pouches they might have a couple of large pouches instead of a butt pack. They might have 2 or 3 large pouches, kind of like this pouch here, this GP pouch, and they'll have stuff in those. Well, each of those you want to put a liner bag, put your crap in there, roll it up tight, and then put your flap down, right? There's going to be stuff that you just don't want to get wet. It's just the way it is. What else? What else could we talk about? I got about 4 minutes left. So we got the old medium Alice here, which makes a good patrol pack, right? Got the quick releases and so on. You could pop these right here and just drop the whole thing, right? You could do that. So there's you got your quick releases. I've got them on both. Some of them have them on one, right? I got them on both. So you could get rid of this on either one, and then it will just fall off the back. You can just let it go, right? And another thing that you've got is you've got these little guys here. Makes it real easy to just do this and do that, right? You could do that situation as well. Makes it easy. So that is on your regular Alice. That's on the medium or on the large. Uses the same straps, right? Now, I've talked about this H harness before in the past. I happen to like this particular type of H harness, and the French have one, and I have talked about nomenclature with the French kit previously with the uniforms, right? And also even with the rifles. You know, they're just not real. They're just not real diverse in their nomenclature on stuff. Oh, it's a F1. Oh, it's a F2. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Right? But it's not too deviated. So, the French version of this H harness, which is a little thinner up in the shoulder area, they use a bit smaller, thinner, you know, padding, right? And it's the F1. So we talked about the you know, the cami blouses the other day. We talked about cami blouses a little bit with the lizard pattern, right? Which is the father of the tiger stripe. Okay, so we talked about the lizard pattern. That's the F1 lizard pattern. Okay, and then they have an F1 harness, right, for the belt kit. Yeah. Anyway, I like this one better. This is a 1956 American version, right? But the French and the American are pretty much the same thing. You just look at them, you can see, you know. I don't know. I mean, who developed what? Did the French develop it first, or did the Americans develop it first? I don't know, because everybody kind of says, "Oh, I like that." You know, let's do one like that too, right? So same situation with the belt kit. You know, the Americans had Alice, the British had their belt kit, the French had their belt kit. You know, everybody's got very similar setups. You know, and as a Minuteman, you have that opportunity to set up your personal kit the way that you want, that works for you. You don't have to follow a standard operating procedure because, you know, it's a Minuteman kit. Now, if you get into a team of guys, that's a whole different story. You will have personalization, but at the same time, each of you will want to know where certain items are in everybody's kit. You'll want to standardize where those items are, right? Okay, guess we'll leave it at that for today. We'll see you later.